Welcome to the 2010 Texas MBA Convocation for the McCombs School of Business. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the McCombs School of Business faculty and the Texas MBA class of 2010.
Please be seated. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. As Dean of the McCombs School of Business, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome the parents, relatives, and friends of our 2010 MBA graduating class. I know this looks very formal, but it's permissible to clap at any point. Graduation is an exciting time. It represents the end of a long journey and the beginning of new challenges and opportunities. I congratulate all of you on this wonderful achievement and wish you every success in the future. Graduate school is a challenge on any level. Our graduates tonight chose to pursue a graduate degree on top of an already full and challenging life. The demands of family and personal responsibilities, community service, and even some full-time jobs are enough for most people. Then you added the demands of graduate business school. You have earned this night and should be proud of what you've accomplished. This is a special moment for all of us. The pursuit of an MBA by the class of 2010 has in some ways touched all of our lives. And as the students know, this activity has sometimes been quite rigorous. Today is a time to pause and reflect on all that you've accomplished and all that you can become. During your program of study, you've acquired the knowledge and expertise that will help you achieve the next level in your professional lives. It is my belief that seated among us today from the class of 2010 are future CEOs, visionaries, civic and political leaders. Without a doubt, you will continue to make a profound impact professionally and in your communities. I'm confident of this because you have already shown your capacity for leadership. As students, you have shaped the MBA experience for the entire McCombs community. During your academic pursuits, you formed strong bonds with your classmates, building trust across different personalities and extending your network for years to come. You have seen your classmates change companies and industries during a time of economic duress. You've also witnessed the power of the MBA education through the development of new companies established during your academic program. Seated before you are business leaders, and we couldn't be more proud to award you a Master's of Business Administration degree today. We thank you for your support and commitment to the future of the McCombs School of Business. Congratulations, graduates. Members of the audience will notice that some of our students are wearing ribbons on the lapels of their graduation robes. The white ribbon identifies sword scholars. Sword scholars earned a grade point average of 3.8 or higher in the full-time MBA core curriculum. The orange ribbon identifies the Dean's Award for Academic Excellence. Recipients of the Dean's Award for Academic Excellence earned an overall grade point average of 3.8 or higher during the entire MBA curriculum. The beige ribbon identifies Kosmetsky Scholars. Recipients of the Kosmetsky Scholar earned an overall grade point average of 4.0 during their MBA education. Last, the blue ribbon identifies members of Beta Gamma Sigma Honor Society. This is the National Scholastic Honor Society for students in business administration. MBA students must rank in the top 20% of their class to be eligible for invitation to Beta Gamma Sigma. These students are to be commended for their outstanding achievement in the classroom. We can congratulate each of them on their graduation along with the entire class. Congratulations, students. Now it's my privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, Red McCombs. Billy Joe Red McCombs was born in 1927 in the small West Texas town of Spur, about 75 miles east of Lubbock. McCombs' father was an auto mechanic, but the younger McCombs expressed little interest in automobiles, though that market would eventually become his entrance to the world of big business. The oldest of 4 children, his family moved in 1943 to Corpus Christi, Texas. He briefly attended Southwestern University in Georgetown, Texas, where he played football, lineman and receiver, an unlikely combination, Red, before serving in the Army in 1946 and 1947. After completing his Army stint, McCombs entered the University of Texas, attending the business school and the law school. Red McCombs began his career as a salesman in the automobile business in Corpus Christi in 1950. In 1958, he moved to San Antonio and led Red McCombs Automotive to become the 6th largest dealer group in the United States. Red entered the energy industry in the early 1960s, resulting in the Houston-based McCombs Energy. He also became involved in real estate through the Kuntz McCombs Development Company. In 1972, McCombs partnered with Lowry Mays to purchase a radio station in San Antonio. That station grew to become Clear Channel Communications. Red McCombs was honored by the University of Texas at Austin as a distinguished alumnus and was the recipient of the President's Award. We are truly honored that our school is named the Red McCombs School of Business. We recently celebrated the 10th anniversary of Red's transformative gift to the school by hosting a gala in his honor. Through the gala, we were able to fund 2 new 40-acre scholarships to be named the Red McCombs Endowed Scholarship and the Charlene McCombs Endowed Scholarship. And Charlene is with us today. Thank you, Charlene, for joining us today. We're not the only folks that hold Red in high esteem. The American Academy of Achievement recently awarded him the Texas Legend Award from the Texas Automobile Dealers Association. He has been honored with a PhD recognition by the University of Texas at San Antonio, Southwestern University, and Texas Lutheran University. Here to speak to the degree candidates on behalf of the faculty of the McCombs School of Business is our friend, Red McCombs.
I don't believe I've had that much attention since I got out of diapers. I have been in this Gregory Gymnasium hundreds of times, starting back in 1945, 46. I've had a lot of experiences in here, a lot of athletic experiences, a lot of social experiences, but never an experience like this, where I get to address the MBA graduates of the McCombs School. There was no way that there ever could be a McCombs School, but there is. And I'll always be grateful for all who played a part in it. And certainly I never thought I would be speaking to a graduating class that had my granddaughter in it. So I don't have to tell you how special it is for me. First, I'd like to make a few comments to the families and the friends. As I'll refer a little later in my remarks, none of us gets here alone. But as prideful as all the students are in their recognition for their hard work tonight, I fully realize that none of that will come close to measuring the pride of the family and the friends and the people who've been involved in your journey that got you here. Thank you, Dean, for that very nice introduction, and thank all of you for being here and being a part of this program. Particular graduation congratulations, of course, go to the class of 2010 MBAs. First, I want to thank you for choosing Texas. You all had choices, and I'm grateful that you chose McCombs. I hope you found McCombs to be more than you expected. Whatever the school was before you came, it is not the same as you found it 2 years ago. You have changed this school. You've made a mark on this school. You're now a part of the McCombs DNA. That might be a scary thought to some of you, but it's very exciting to me. Your professors and your fellow students joined you in growing McCombs. This was a good school when you chose to come here. Your being here has made it a better school. One of your fellow alums who finished years ago, a longtime friend of mine, Roy Spence, coined a phrase that we're all very familiar with: don't mess with Texas. All of us have enjoyed repeating that, and it means different things to different people, but it certainly had an impact on all of us. We all cheered, and at times we embellished the statement. Since Roy got such a ride out of that, he had to come with another run, and then we began to hear in that great voice of Walter Cronkite, "What starts here changes the world." You and I and many others cheered Cronkite. We yelled, "Hook 'em till we were hoarse." And in fact, we said, "Give us more." And the school did give us more. A kid named Colt from a school so small we couldn't find it on the Texas map picked up the challenge. And he added his part to the lore of this school by breaking the all-time national collegiate passing records and starting and winning more games than any quarterback in the history of NCAA football. I know that's worth applause. You and I were all excited about that. We screamed and we yelled, "Give us more." That's what we do here. We always ask for more. And give us more is what President Powers and Dean Gilligan did. You graduate tonight the best prepared Longhorn business students in 125 years. I spent some time looking at what the class that your mom and dad would have been in, say 30 years ago, and I compared that class in all areas to this class you're graduating. Truly, there is no real comparison. And you know that they did very well, and you're going to do much better. And while you're doing it, we're going to tell the world about it. And we're going to say yes and yes and yes and yes. And when we're talking about what happens here, we're not going to do it in a way that's boastful, because we know no less an authority than Dizzy Dean told us years ago that it ain't bragging if you done it. And you done it. Our own living legend, Coach Darrell Royal, a couple of years ago was invited back to his hometown of Hollis, Oklahoma. The purpose was to honor his deceased high school football coach for whom a new football stadium was named. That high school coach had played a very special role in Coach Royal's life. That night, in his tribute to his former coach, Darrell referred to him as his somebody. Coach Royal said it this way: everybody who is anybody has a somebody. Let me repeat what I think is one of the most fascinating and true statements that I've ever heard anyone make. And the fact that it was made by a person that all of us love and respect, Coach Royal, makes it even more special. But I will add that I'm not surprised that this would come from him, because I've known him since the day he walked on his campus in 1947. At that time, I was head of the Texas Longhorn Club, and it was my role to take him around the state and introduce him to our other chapters around the state. So we became very well acquainted before he ever coached a game here. So let me repeat his comment in talking about his former high school football coach. It was very simply that everybody who is anybody has a somebody, and his high school football coach was his somebody. All of us have a somebody. Most of us have several somebodies. Obviously, they would include parents, family members, friends, teachers, preachers, and you name it, because our somebodies come from all walks of life, and at times we don't expect it. So while we're all thinking for a moment about the various somebodies that are so special to each one of you, as well as me, I want to mention a couple of the most impactful graduation speeches that I have ever heard, and I've always loved reading and studying what people say at commencement speeches. But I want to comment on two that had a big impact on me. One was by Winston Churchill. Churchill was such a hero to all of the free world at the end of World War II, but especially so in England. He was very much sought after by many prestigious groups as a speaker. And of course, he was as famous already as one of the great orators of any time. He turned down most all the requests because he was in very poor health, and he was very reluctant to accept those speaking requests. But his old alma mater, his prep school, stayed after him and finally prevailed upon him to come and give their commencement address. He was ill at the time and could hardly stand. He probably shouldn't have been giving an address, probably shouldn't have been out of bed. But he stood as he was introduced, thanked the person who introduced him, and addressed all the young men who were graduating. His total speech was, "Never give up, never give up, never give up, thank you." You're not going to be so fortunate because I'm not going to quit. How profound, and what a message in such few words. The other commencement address that affected me so deeply that I refer to it often was given by Steve Jobs. He was invited to give the commencement address to graduates at Stanford in June '05. His address was a bit more lengthy. I'm not going to take the time to repeat it, but just his key phrases would cause those of you who are not familiar with it to want to look it up. And I would strongly urge all of you to do so. The title of his address was, "Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish." Stay hungry, stay foolish. In that address, he covered his life up to that point, and when you look and see what his life was and had been, there was no way on God's earth that he could have accomplished what he did, and is still making marks every day. But that address made impacts throughout the world, and I'm sure it will make impacts for many years to come. If you're not familiar with it, look it up. It will impact your life, and I encourage you to do so. Now, in commenting on these graduation speeches, I'm not indicating in any way that I'm so presumptuous as to think that my comments tonight might have any kind of lasting effects on you. But Steve Jobs' Stanford speech will. I do want to tell you how happy I am that I was invited to speak to you on this special occasion. I want to take a few minutes to discuss some thoughts on current issues with which you're all very familiar. How could the greatest entrepreneurial country in the world, the greatest entrepreneurial country that the world has ever known or will know, how could it ever be drawn into such a serious financial downdraft that it actually challenged the stability of our great country? How could great companies like Lehman, Washington Mutual, General Motors, Chrysler, and unfortunately many others not only go bankrupt, pressuring the stability of our whole country, and happening so quickly that it made it even more unbelievable? How could this happen? How could General Motors, the greatest industrial complex the world had known for more than 75 years, their automobile industry was an industry that was given birth in America. The industry was raised in America and nourished in America. The automobile became the best thought of everyone as he approached his teenage years all over the world, and they still retain that place today. So how could a company so great almost overnight be bankrupt? And even worse, to be bankrupt and not even know it. I don't believe you studied things like that here. And we're not going to have things like that come out of here. You not only have learned the various disciplines but you've learned to do the right thing for the right reasons. And that's probably as great a part of an education as any of us can ever get. These are the kind of things that you and I could not imagine could happen. So as you go and embrace the world, don't be surprised that you are going to be surprised. But when you get surprised, you have to be ready to recover, and you have to be ready to get on the winning side and to make it right. So for every happenstance that creates big issues that are negative, there creates opportunities for those who are ready to go in and fix the problems. America will recover from all of these issues, and we'll recover because we have such a strong economy. No other country in the world could have withstood it. The rest of the world will depend on America's recovery. You will be a part of that recovery. In doing so, we'll all pay a dear price. As graduates, of course, this creates issues that will certainly impact your life. But I submit to you that in working through all these solutions and getting the answers to these issues, you are as well prepared for meaningful participation as any group in the United States. Re-entering the workforce, you will be facing problems that were not here 2 years ago. So the involvement of you will be critical in how we respond to all of this. So along the way, I refer back to my friend Roy Spence and give us all a word of encouragement. And that's the phrase that he started 3 years ago with, Cronkite's beautiful voice saying, "What starts here changes the world." Well, I was touched by it, and I cheered Cronkite, yelled "Hook 'em, give us more, give us more." So there it was. We've had our good days, and we've had our days when we've had challenges. In talking about these challenges and where we're going to go with them, I want to discuss with you some of the opportunities that you're graduating into. In some 20 years, there will be 1 billion more people on earth than there are today. 1 billion more than today. Close to 8 billion people. They'll all be seeking better living standards. The key to reducing poverty and improving health and prosperity is and always will be economic expansion. Increased energy produced in its various forms will lead the way for the growth of our national prosperity. And indeed, we are in the best position in the world to create that energy from all the various sources. The growth of the world's prosperity will depend on it. You're well prepared to participate in it and to take leading roles in the global growth as you grow your own careers. Wherever you go and whatever you do, you will not be isolated because we're all interconnected. And somewhere across the line, all the dots come together. So as you're going on this next journey in your life, don't forget this university. This university is a great source. Stay close to it. You'll be needed to plan and produce the activities for the next generation of students. The university will continue to grow in a large part because of your continued involvement. Your class has already indicated your interest and your care and your concern in making a mark with your own participation in the Leave a Legacy campaign. We will need your continued involvement and particularly your leadership. You're joining the most active group of ex-students of any university. The University of Texas Ex-Student Association is the largest and the best continuing tie of any school in the world. You've made your mark, and your continued support will keep your university as a great beacon of opportunity for the student yet to come. So as we get ready to congratulate ourselves, I'd like for all of you to indulge me for a moment. I'd like for you to stand. I'd like for you to turn to the person next to you and give them a big hug. See how much better you feel when you give somebody a big hug? It's just one of the greatest things we can do in life. And I can't wait to get a hold of that granddaughter of mine and give her one of those hugs. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, thanks, Red, for those inspiring remarks. And now we will recognize the winners of the Student Leadership and Service Award. This is a peer-recognized award for students from each of the 6 MBA programs in the class of 2010. The recipients of this award have made extraordinary contributions to their classmates' experiences and the image of the Texas MBA programs, the University of Texas at Austin, and the McCombs School of Business. I'd like to introduce Yanero Gutierrez, Program Director of the Texas Executive MBA Program at Mexico City, to recognize the Texas Executive MBA Program at Mexico City Student Leadership and Service Award recipient. Yanero.
It is my pleasure to present this year's Executive MBA at Mexico City Class of 2010 Student Leadership Award to Juan Pablo de Velasco Garcia on behalf of the class of 2010 for his extraordinary contributions to his classmates' learning experience and the image of the McCombs School of Business. Juan Pablo, please come to the stage. I would like to read a few of the remarks that your classmates wrote in your nomination. Juan Pablo is a passionate executive as well as an outstanding student that exemplifies responsibility, intelligence, friendship, and dedication. He's bright, and over the last 2 years, he consistently was able to ask deeper questions and help bring complex issues into a sharper focus. His contributions go well beyond academics. He was, to many of us, a valuable professional resource as well as a great friend. His professional and personal contributions enhance everyone's MBA experience. Congratulations, Juan Pablo. We will now recognize the award from the Texas Executive MBA Program, and I would like to introduce John Burroughs to recognize and present the student.
Many Texas EMBA students serve in leadership roles in their organizations and in their communities, a fact that makes this award all that more meaningful. EMBA students nominated and selected the recipient of the Student Leadership and Service Award, and as you can imagine, there were many nominations, but this year's winner stood out significantly from the rest. It's my pleasure to announce this year's Texas Executive MBA Student Leadership Award winner, Ms. Tracy Varenkamp. Here are a few comments from the nominations. Tracy is the nexus of our program, the glue of her study group and the glue connecting multiple study groups to each other. She is also the glue connecting our class to both the class of 2009 and the class of 2011. She has been the lifeblood of our program, ensuring that we all get the most out of our MBA experience inside and outside the classroom. Our class would not have been the same without her. I had the privilege of working with extremely high-caliber individuals during the program, but for this award, we're all in second place. Congratulations. I'd now like to introduce Stephen Burton, Director of the Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston programs, to present the next Student Leadership and Service Award.
It is my pleasure to recognize the Student Leadership and Service Award recipients from the Texas MBA at Dallas-Fort Worth and Texas MBA at Houston programs. For the Texas MBA at Dallas-Fort Worth program, it is my pleasure to announce Christine Rowlett has been chosen for this prestigious recognition. While she's walking, here are just a few of the comments received from her classmates. Christine is a friend and respected colleague to not only students in the Dallas-Fort Worth program, but the students in the Houston program. She brings a large amount of energy and enthusiasm to any initiative and does the work selflessly. She's extremely enthusiastic about the Texas MBA and takes the honor of being a Texas MBA with heartfelt passion. She went above and beyond to enhance the program as a member of the Graduate Business Council and establishing the Graduate Marketing Group. Congratulations, Christine. And now for the Texas MBA at Houston program. It is my pleasure to announce this year's recipient, Michael Rigg. On his way up, here are just a few of the comments we received about Michael. The influence of his leadership and enthusiasm of his drive differentiates the Texas MBA at Houston program amongst its competitors. His initiatives will keep the Texas MBA brand prosperous in the Houston community. I'm proud to be his classmate. His energy and enthusiasm are infectious. He is always willing to give advice or a helping hand, and having him as a classmate has been a pleasure. His leadership was felt early on in the program as he recruited members for the Houston Graduate Business Council. He was the driving force in bringing the Energy Finance Certificate program into reality. Congratulations, Michael.
Thanks, appreciate it.
We'll now recognize the award recipient from the Texas Evening MBA program. I'd like to introduce Trent Thurman, Director of the Texas Evening MBA program, to present that award.
Thank you, Stephen. I am here to present the Texas Evening MBA Student Leadership Award. As you have already heard, this award is particularly significant as it recognizes the person who has made the strongest contributions to the program as judged by fellow classmates. It is my pleasure to announce this year's Texas Evening MBA Student Leadership Award winner, Casey Jones. Casey is very deserving of this top honor. Here are just a few of the comments from the nominations. Did thankless work well and cheerfully. Always proactive in planning social and philanthropic activities. Outstanding leadership during our 3 years. Always energetic and ready to help. Repeatedly went out of the way to contribute to classmates' experience. And my favorite, always positive and energetic with a bright smile. Congratulations, Casey. We will now recognize the award from the full-time Texas MBA program. I'd like to introduce Tina Mabley, Director of the full-time program, to present the next awards.
Thank you, Trent. We will be announcing 4 awards. It's not just that we're indecisive, but we do represent 4 cohorts in selecting our awards. Our first award, and as was mentioned by my other directors, our first award, as voted on by the students, goes to Randall Crowder. Randall has been recognized as the ultimate team player and motivator. He has told people that procrastination is his pet peeve. If you hold him up, he will get the job done with or without you, which may not sound like a team player, but he still makes you feel like you contributed. He worked to gain connections in the Austin venture capital community, and he shares connections with others. A classmate called him a Superman. There was a magazine spread of Randall, and we don't have photos here today. I will just say he's strong and a force that we are glad to have on our side. For spearheading the creation of venture labs and bringing a lot of publicity to McCombs through this endeavor with his fellow classmates, this award goes to Randall Crowder. Our next award goes to Nerubi Schlenker. Nerubi is an exceptional student, a great team player. She makes time to help others even when she has a lot on her plate. Her enthusiasm for McCombs is evident in everything that she does, including the McCombs Admission Committee and the Leave a Legacy campaign. As an advocate for the student experience, this student has a knack for bridging the cultural gap between international and our domestic students. As president of the Entrepreneurship Society, she played a key role in exciting initiatives such as Startup Meetup and ES Connections with her fellow classmates. One of her fellow students says, when I asked her why she took this upon herself to coordinate such events, she answered, I want to build an entrepreneur society into a great organization because I believe in it and I want to enhance the entrepreneurial program at McCombs and to attract great entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs to McCombs. While we are very proud of her, I know we are only almost as proud of her as her mother, who is here with us today from Venezuela. So congratulations, Nerubi. Our next award goes to Shannon Emerson. As a peer advisor, Shannon assisted both her classmates in addition to the students in the first-year class. She joined the McCombs Admission Committee in her second year because of her passion for promoting the school. For her tireless efforts, along with her co-chairs and her Leave a Legacy committee, her work on the Leave a Legacy campaign was recognized by her class. To support the Dean's mission of educating business leaders that will make an impact in society, she spearheaded an effort to create a social enterprise fund supporting students who choose to intern with social impact organization. Congratulations, Shannon. Our final award goes to, I'm not sure if you know him, Franklin Fuchs. I think if I had to choose a word for Franklin, it would be involved. His classmates say he is always prepared for class and never fails to add quality remarks or ask good questions. He always has a positive demeanor about him, which tends to motivate and inspire those around him. He successfully led several PLUS projects, and his team won the Texas Moot Court competition. He worked tirelessly to champion the cause of clean energy within the business school and the MBA program. As one of his classmates said, after working with Franklin to create a video detailing the virtues of Austin's green economy, it was clear that there was no other place that he would rather be than at the University of Texas at Austin, doing what he was doing here. Through his passion, dedication, and inspiration, he has left the UT MBA program and the McCombs School of Business a different place than when he first found it. Thank you, Franklin. Now I would like to introduce Eric Hurst, Associate Dean for Graduate Programs, to recognize the Dean's Leadership and Service Award recipients and give his graduate send-off. Thank you.
It's my honor and it's my pleasure to announce the Class of 2010 Dean's Service and Leadership Awards. These awards recognize the significant contribution by very special Texas MBA graduates to the McCombs community. These students have worked tirelessly outside of the classroom to better the community for their classmates and for future Texas MBAs. It's my pleasure to present the Dean's Leadership and Service Award for the Executive MBA at Mexico City to Luis Enrique Cisneros Hernandez. He is a true professional and an outstanding leader who exemplifies renewal and continuous improvement in both his personal and his professional life. For the class of 2010, he is the all-round best team player, always willing to jump in and help anyone at any time. Continuously involved in learning, he presented a great example in every way: a strong will, great attitude, friendly and helpful. This year's winner is an all-around great classmate, and it makes sense that he is the natural leader of the Executive MBA in Mexico City, class of 2010. For the Executive MBA program, it is my pleasure to present the Dean's Award to Mr. Ron Lobato. Ron has been a true ambassador for the program by unselfishly giving of his time to applicants to the EMBA program, offering insight and guidance. He has added great insights during class, applying his military experience to the business and leadership concepts the class learned throughout their program. He participated in the enhanced program with focused strategies and shared his experiences with both his classmates and the first-year class. He also participated in the McCombs career search process, shared his experiences, and is helping us improve the process for future Executive MBA students. Ron volunteered early in the program for a leadership position on the class coordinating committee. He not only volunteered to secure Chinese visas for his class this year, but he returned with a presentation on a process for all future students as well. Congratulations, Ron. The Dean's Award winner for the Texas MBA at Houston program is Heather Andrews. Heather was an active participant in bridging the gap between current Houston MBA students and Texas MBA alumni, helping coordinate events and communicating to classmates about networking opportunities. She enhanced the Houston MBA experience by strengthening the relationship between the program, our alumni, and the Houston business community. She also participated in 2 enhanced projects, one with Green Mountain Energy, which she was responsible for recruiting and leading. And that's impressive not only because it was the first project that McCombs had with Green Mountain Energy, but also because the company is located in Austin, and it thus required her to lead across geographic boundaries, while enrolled as both a full-time student as well as maintaining a full-time job in Houston. Congratulations. It's my pleasure to announce that the Dean's Award winner for the Texas MBA at Dallas-Fort Worth is Anne-Marie Triolo. Anne-Marie was an active member of the Graduate Business Council. She frequently represents the program in information sessions and enthusiastically promotes the Texas MBA to many, many of her colleagues. She encouraged companies to submit and sponsor enhanced projects and did an extraordinary job in bringing in guest speakers and organizing program-enriching activities and events. She was actively involved in the Dallas Business Club and the McCombs MBA Alumni Association. The winner of the Dean's Award from the Texas Evening MBA program is Alan Palesco. Alan chaired the evening program's Graduate Business Council Service Committee and helped organize a number of community service activities, including a canned food drive and a clothing drive. He was always willing to lend a hand when needed and was frequently called on to represent the program at information sessions and discuss the program with prospective students. He is always one to put others in front of himself. So much so that he isn't here today. Instead, he's attending his wife's law school graduation. So congratulations to Alan. The Dean's Award winner for the full-time Texas MBA program goes to a student who is always willing to lend a hand and embodies the McCombs culture of collaboration. This award goes to David Wiedemeyer. For the past 2 years, David led by example in terms of work ethic, integrity, and involvement with his classmates. As one of the champions of the MBA Oath project at McCombs, he helped bring responsibility and integrity to the forefront of the MBA experience. Congratulations, David. Our final award goes to Mr. Franklin Fuchs. You've heard about Franklin from his classmates. Let me just reiterate a couple of things. He served as a peer advisor and was always willing to help his fellow students achieve their career aspirations. As a leader of the Clean Tech organization, he helped champion the need for a clean tech concentration, something which is now a tremendous part of the full-time Texas MBA curriculum. During the final weeks of the MBA program, he has been highly involved with the class of 2010, and I should maybe go back, not just during the final weeks, but he was a big part of the League of Legacy campaign. One of his fellow students put it best: "I cannot think of anyone that better represents the spirit and cooperative nature that makes McCombs a unique school, and he deserves to be recognized as a leader of this school." Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, hijos, hijas, hermanos, hermanas, abuelas, abuelos, faculty, distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to share a few thoughts with you in the Texas MBA class of 2010. Thank you for joining us from all over Texas, from across the United States, from Argentina, Belgium, Brazil, Chile, China, Colombia, Ecuador, France, Ghana, Greece, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Jamaica, Japan, Korea, Lebanon, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Nigeria, Norway, Pakistan, Peru, Russia, Singapore, Taiwan, Trinidad, United Kingdom, Venezuela, and beyond to celebrate with us. I know that you are all as proud of this group of professionals as I am. Now, graduates, I'm going to keep this very brief because you've already heard too much from me over the last couple of years. Some of you have traveled with me to Vietnam, others to South Africa and Botswana. I've worked with you on committees, both formal and informal, and I'm proud and delighted to welcome you as the newest alumni of the Texas MBA Alumni Network. You've heard me say that my job is to work for the alumni, that my job is to enhance and protect the Texas MBA brand, the brand that 18,000 other people, alumni, have worked so hard to earn. Well, now I work for you. Though we've taken journeys together, academic and otherwise, already, class of 2010, the next journey you take will be an even more important one. It's the one you take to become influential business leaders. We saw leadership potential in you when you were admitted to the Texas MBA program. We continued to see it as you went through your coursework, as you took on leadership roles at school, at work, and in the community. And as we celebrate your accomplishments today, we do so with the expectation that you will take what you've done to date and add to it, that you will represent the Texas MBA community with pride. As your journey continues, look for ways to add to your knowledge and understanding. Visit new places, take on new challenges, grow intellectually. Question conventional wisdom. As Texas MBAs, you're known for your collaborative spirit. Keep that up as you work in your professional organizations and in your civic involvement. It will take you far. Today, more than ever, it's important to have a worldview of business and society. You've now got friends in Boston and Austin, Mumbai and Shanghai, Tokyo and Toronto, Sao Paulo and St. Paul, not to mention Houston, Dallas, and Mexico City. Be sure to travel for both work and pleasure. And when the time comes, be sure to bring your children. Aside from your love, giving them a worldview may be the greatest gift you can give them. I can tell you firsthand that an international posting, children in tow, is one of the most satisfying experiences you will ever have. Go for it. Finally, in all you do, do it with responsibility and with integrity. Your reputation is your most valuable asset. Protect it, enhance it. My pledge to you is that together with the faculty and the entire Texas MBA program staff, I will work hard to ensure that the value of your degree increases as we strive to enhance the Texas MBA program in the years to come. Count on us. Based on your demonstrated leadership to date, I know that I can count on you. And now it is time. The talking is over and recognition time begins, and they're already bouncing in the seats. That's great.